All right, first and foremost, I'm going to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. So Barakatah Yahweh meaning bless Yahweh, have the Most High, and Barakatah Yahweh Shai meaning bless the Son Yahweh Shai, who the world incorrectly called him Jesus Christ. All right, but this is a quick video. I want hopefully straight to the point, edifying. All right, this is Zechariah 13:8. It says, "It shall come to pass that in all the land." It shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. So the Lord says two parts therein shall be cut off, meaning dead. All right, the Lord's gonna cut 2/3 of the people off. That's 66% of the nation. But the third shall be left therein. But who's the third? The third is the elect. All right. The Lord's gonna save he's gonna keep the remnant, the 1/3. All right. And that's why up here it says nah, I'll get that later. But the 1/3 is the remnant. I was thinking the subtitle said the remnant, but this says false prophets ashamed. But this is the remnant that's going to the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to keep through the fire and through the trials. Verse 9, I will bring the third part through the fire. What is the fire? The trials, the tribulation. All right. It says, and will refine them. So the Lord's going to refine us. The word refine. All right. The definition of refine. Refine. Remove impurities. So the Lord is going to remove the impurities. He's going to make us pure through the trials, through the tribulations, through the afflictions. The Lord is going to remove all the impurities from our hearts. All right. It says remove impurities or unwanted elements from a substance, typically as part of an industrial process. So the Lord's bringing us through the process, these trials and tribulations and the issues of life and the things that we go through, the afflictions, the persecution, are to ultimately, it's a process ultimately to cleanse us out. All right, of the unwanted things that the Lord, the Most High, and His Son Yahweh Shai doesn't want in us. So we have to go through the process of trials, tribulations, and afflictions and persecution. So He says, I will bring the third part through the fire, the persecution, afflictions, the trials, and will refine them as silver is refined. All right, and try them as gold is tried. So the Lord's going to try us. This is the time of temptation, the trial. Gold is tried in the fire. Yeah. Because before you test the gold, you have to test the gold to see if it's real. So you have to put it in the fire. And that's what the Lord is going to do. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is going to put us in the fire to see whether our faith is true and genuine or not. Whether to see if the gold is genuine. So you have to put it through the fire. It says, gold is tried. They shall call on my name. So who is they? The Israelites, the so-called Latinos, Native American, and Negroes are going to call upon the name Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. It says, I will hear them. And I will say, it is my people. So the Lord's going to hear us in the time of trouble. All right. The elect, the chosen out of the nation of Israel. And it says, and I will say, it is my people. Because the chosen are going to be the ones that call upon Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The 2/3, the wicked, is going to be put to death, as we just read in verse 8. It says, and they shall say, the elect. They shall say, the Lord Yahweh is my God. We're going to be claiming the names of the Lord Yahweh, because that's those names are going to be magnified, all right? And we're going to be the ones that Yahweh's name is going to be written on our forehead, all right? So that's how we know who's the wicked and who's the righteous, because not only is these tests and trials are going to prove that the name of Yahweh is going to be exalted through the elect, and also through the tribulations, and it's also we're going to have His name on our forehead, because the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is coming. All right. It says Revelation 22:3, and they shall no more be cursed, but then thrown. But because we were under the Deuteronomy curses, but when Yahweh returns, we're no longer. He's going to remove that. The serving, this lending was a curse. If you're lending money, borrowing money, and having to go to your enemies for food and water, and also Cursed is he that hangeth from a tree. And we was hung. We in America, we were hung from trees. All right. So, but the throne of God, which Yahushua, where Yahushua is at, of the Lamb shall be in it. This is talking about when the Lord comes with and sets up the kingdom, and his servant shall serve him, which is the elect, Israel, Jacob my servant. All right, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. See, we're gonna have the Lord Yahweh Yahushua in our foreheads. All right, so those names are gonna be exalted in these last and evil days. All right. So when we get in the kingdom, like the Lord's coming to save us. Let's get Jeremiah. Let's get that. Jeremiah 30:7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. That day is the day of trouble, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. It's time for Jacob's trouble now. This is the Lord's warning us that it's time for Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. Who is he? The elect, the chosen is going to be saved. But he shall be saved out of it. The elect is going to be saved out of it. Because the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to have mercy upon the nation of Jake. All right? Of the elect, the chosen. Because the Lord only cares about his chosen. He's coming to save us. It says, for it shall come to pass in the day, save the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Yeah, the Lord Yahweh. When you see the capital Lord, that's the Yahweh, the Father of hosts, meaning armies. The host meaning armies. That I will host. He's the host of heavenly armies and earthly armies, or both heaven and earth. It says that I will break the yoke from off his neck, meaning the Lord's going to loosen us from this captivity, and I will burst the bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. See, we was cursed by serving the strangers, the Esau on them, because they had strange gods. But we went off and started disobeying the Lord, so the Lord put us into captivity. It says, but they shall serve the Lord Yahweh their God, you see, and David their king. So the Lord's going to raise up David, whom I will raise up unto them, you see. Here's a point, verse 10. Verse 10, therefore fear thy not. The Lord saying, fear not, O my servant. You see, Jacob, saved the Lord Yahweh. So we're not supposed to be fearful, because the Lord Yahweh and Yahushua is going. Yahushua is coming to save us. All right, he's going to save us in that time of trouble, as we read in verse 7. He shall be saved out of it. That's his servant, Israel, so-called Jacob. It says, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed, O Israel. And the word dismayed meaning, let's get that, meaning surprised, I believe. Define dismayed. It means cause to feel consternation or distress. It means distress, appalled, horrified, or shocked. So don't be in distress. Don't be shocked or horrified or shooken up or alarmed or startled or scared or frightened. All right, because the Lord Yahweh, the Lord Yahushua is going to save us. It says, neither be dismayed, meaning afraid, O Israel, for lo, I will save you, meaning the elect from afar, and thy seed from the land of thy captivity. You see, the land of captivity, which is America. So that's the land of captivity. And Jacob shall return. We're going to return back to Israel. That's what we're going to, back to the promised land. And shall be in rest. The Lord's going to give us rest. And be quiet. We're going to have quiet cities. Like, we're going to be able to sleep in peace and not worrying about our enemies breaking into our house or cause a disrupt. And the streets are going to be quiet. There won't be violence or any chaos running around the streets. You won't have to lock your doors. It says, and none shall make them afraid. So we're not going to be afraid, because, in the hood, you got to lock your doors and be afraid. But none of that stuff's going to be like that in the kingdom when Yahushua comes and returns and saves us. All right. It says, verse 11, for I am with thee. The Lord says, I am with thee, saith the Lord Yahweh, to save thee. The Lord says, I am with you to save you. He says, though I make a full end of the nations where I have scattered you, yet I will not make a full end of thee. So he said, I will not make a full end of thee. So he's not going to completely kill the nation. Yet will I not make a full end of thee. So the Lord's going to have mercy upon us. It says, I will correct thee in measure. The Lord will correct us. He says, I will correct thee in measure and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. All right. So the Lord is going to correct us in measure and will not leave us altogether unpunished. Meaning he's not going to have mercy upon the remnant of the nation of Israel, the remnant meaning the remaining. After all of the process of purging and filtering out, the Lord's going to have mercy upon it, on the nation of Israel. All right, so with that being said, I want to say shalom and catch you in the next one.